Happy New Year's Eve to all of my creative peeps out there. I hope you ring in the new year with some creativity. Today we are doing the Take 5 Art Challenge. Several ladies couldn't make it this month due to lots of sickness and family things, but there were a few of us that did get it done, so I will try to sift their links to the top of the pile. But we'll all be back at it in the new year, which I'm really excited about. So this month's prompts are modeling paste, 3 stamps, text paper, feather, and gesso through a stencil. So here I'm taking some text paper. These are actually 2 pages from a 1900 Sears Roebuck catalog. So the vintage coloring is natural. This is a giant piece of mixed media paper, and I'm just kind of tearing up the bits and putting them down with some matte medium. This month I did go in with a little bit of a plan. I wanted to make some journaling cards to send to people for Happy Mail. You can see a theme going on this week. I'm really trying to get caught up there. I feel like I'm always saying that. But anyway, this is me putting some modeling paste through a Tim Holtz Harlequin stencil. So I'm doing that. But yeah, so I'm going to decorate this whole sheet and then cut them up into cards. And I had some feathers that I wanted to use that somebody sent me. But you'll see that at the end and why it didn't quite go. But anyway, this is another stencil that I'm using my modeling paste through. It is the wire stencil. And I found out when you turn the wire stencil on its side, it looks like mermaid scales, which is pretty dope. I'm really excited about that. So for my gesso, I decided to use clear gesso instead of white because I already have the white of the modeling paste. And some of you might be saying, well, what's the point in that? Well, clear gesso, when you put it down, the gesso will absorb the color that I'm going to put on top of it differently than just the paper and the matte medium or the modeling paste. So it will create color variation, and of course I'm using it through a stencil, so it should create pattern, but mine was a little too fluid and it gets a little not so stencil-y. But yeah. I also put some on a shipping tag because I had some left over. So you'll see me decorate that. Here I'm pulling out a couple stamp sets from Tim Holtz as well, and using my new archival mini inks. I used sepia, plum, coffee, and watering can, I believe. So I'm just kind of testing it out on this tag here to see if I like what I was gonna do. And I did like the stars, so I put the stars only in the coffee though. I didn't use the plum, which is what's on the tag. But yeah, so I put coffee stars on there. Then I used this, I don't know what it's called. It's kind of like a crossword type mesh, maybe? Maybe it's mesh. Anyway, I stamped that in some gray ink, and when you're stamping on mixed media, you kind of want to do clusters. I mean, not tight clusters, but just kind of stamp your different stamps in the same area, and it will create a really cool effect. Then I'm going in with the pointer finger, one of my favorite Tim Holtz things. I love that pointer finger, I don't know why. So I'm stamping that all around. So those are my 3 stamps that I use. Then I'm going to test out my coloring on the tag. I haven't used these 2 colors together before, and I wasn't sure how it would go. I used Rusty Hinge and Evergreen Bough with some Lindsay's Stamp Gang Shabby Turbine Teal, which is about the same color as Evergreen Bough, but it's got some shimmer in it. So I actually really love the Rusty Hinge and that turquoise together. Like, it looks so cool. And I was really happy with the tag. I did add a little bit of purple to the tag, but I didn't like it. So I decided not to do it on the final piece. But here you'll just see me coloring it. This is a Rusty Hinge, and I use some water to kind of spread it out so it's not so streaky. And you'll see how the coloring grabs differently on each of the mediums, which is really cool. I love using sprays to color mixed media products. It's my favorite way to color mixed media. In case you missed me talking about this in another video, I have updated my list of people and channels that inspire me, which is always in the bottom of the description box. So you can go check that out. I added about 12 people to it. They're not like new to YouTube really, but they're people that I like watching that I haven't added since the last time I updated it. So you can go check that out if you want some extra inspiration. So here I am. I have a special blade that I use for cardboard and things you really shouldn't use a paper cutter for, so you just saw me switch the blades out. And I'm just trimming these down where I thought the card looked good. And at this point I'm so into making the card I forgot all about the feather really, so I didn't think about the colors I was using, but that's fine. I make it work. So yeah, just trimming those down. A lot of them ended up being smaller than I originally planned, but it's how they looked good anyway, so it's alright. So here I am pulling out the feathers and realizing they don't really go with the coloring that I used or the feel. They're very stark white and glitter and gloss. So I thought I was going to try and make it work with this piece of ribbon or something, but it just was not happening. And that's okay. Just go with the flow, you know, you don't have to use something just because you intended to in the beginning. So I pulled out some gold clear feather stickers and I put that on the front of this card. This card I'm going to put in my journal. So I had this paper I had mopped up some spray with before, so I decided to put that on the back of the card for the journaling spot. So I'm just going to stick that down. Then I was like, well, maybe I'll draw a feather on the back of this card. So here I am drawing a feather, and I believe I wrote "Let It Go." So just doing that, and then I'll take my black Posca paint pen and outline it. Now, if you're new to the Take 5 challenge, please do not forget that us ladies put up these videos in hopes that you will do your own Take 5 using the prompts, which you can find in the description box below. We love to have you guys play along and see how you interpret the prompts. One thing I love is that everybody's creations are different. So don't forget to use the hashtag Take5Art on Instagram. I will leave everything you need to know, like I said, in the description box below. And if you need some extra inspiration, you can check out the other ladies and their videos. So I'm using here the one of the colors, sepia I think, to outline the edges because they were just a little too white. And then this is how they all came out. I can't wait to finish each one a little bit differently and pop them into some mail that I'm sending out. I think they're really cute journaling cards, and I also can't wait to put the other one in my own journal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it inspiring. Please do not forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Have a wonderful, very safe, and happy New Year, and I will talk to you guys in 2018. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.